Hey y'all. I have something really fun that I am going to share with you today. And yes, it has to do with yarn. But before I get to the good stuff and share my thoughts and experience with this yarn, I want to explain a little bit about knitting fever. I first heard about them a couple of years ago and I absolutely fell in love with some of their products. So, of course, I went to their website to order and I was a little bit confused. Knitting Fever is a distributor of yarns. So you can't actually order yarn from their website, but what you can do is you can go to their website, search for the yarn that you want and the color. Then they will prompt you to either put your zip code or your state and your country in, and they will pull up local yarn shops near you that carry this yarn. If you're like me and you don't really have a local yarn shop, you can find yarn shops that sell online and that will ship to you. So I wanted to explain a little bit of that to you before I talk to you about the yarn. Now let's dive in and talk about the yarn. So the brand is Jody Long, and again, the distributor is Knitting Fever. And this one right here is the Andeamo Lite Twist. So this one is a worsted weight yarn. And the really cool thing about this line is it comes in 200 grams. So you're getting a lot of yarn. I have several of the light ones here and they are all worsted weight. It's 437 yards per 200 grams. Look how pretty this one is. I really love this color and the twisted look. My husband saw this and he's like, I've got to touch that yarn. It looks like rope. But let me tell you, it does not feel like rope. I was really surprised at how soft this is. This yarn is a blend. It is Peruvian wool and super fine alpaca. So it is an 85-15 blend. So it's 85% wool and 15% alpaca. And it really is soft. It also has a texture to it. The Andeamo Lites are worsted weight. Here's another worsted weight one. This is the twist, and then this is just the Andeamo Lite. Then they have a painted version. There are so many different pretty colors in this line, and I really like this one that they sent me. Let's talk about pattern suggestions. I think this yarn is perfect for hats. In fact, I made a hat with one of the ones I'll talk about in just a minute. If you're like me, when you get new yarn, you're like, okay, this is great and it's pretty, but what do I make with it? When I first saw this yarn, the first thing that popped into my head was a hat. I knew that I was gonna have to make some hats with this yarn. I also think since you have 200 yards here and it's worsted weight yarn, I am pretty sure you would be able to get a hat and some mittens and have a matching set. If you had two of these, I am pretty sure you would be able to get a hat, cowl, and mittens out of it. And that is just where my brain went because this is really warm. Just having my hand back here, my hand is getting warm just holding this yarn. The other great thing that I really liked about this yarn is it holds its shape really well. That is one of the great things about wool is it's really sturdy, but it's still soft and it's gonna hold its shape. Plus, it is a workhorse. Whatever you make with this is gonna last a really long time. I also think this would make a great sweater. I'm just not a bulky weight sweater or even a worsted weight sweater wearer. Now that I've talked to you about the light version, let's get into the bulky version. This is all Jody Long brand and it's the Andeamo line. So here is the bulky version of the Andeamo Painted. It is really surprisingly soft. When I first saw this and I saw that it was Peruvian wool with alpaca, I was kind of like, ooh, I wonder if that's gonna be scratchy, but it's really not. It's soft, but it also has some texture to it and you know it's gonna keep you warm. This is the painted version. Here is just the regular Andeamo in a solid color. They also have a twist, an Andeamo Twist version. And this is the one that I picked to make a hat out of. This is a super bulky base, a number 6. And again, it is the 85% wool and 15% alpaca. And I just loved the look of this. This is an adult size medium hat, and this is how much I have left over. I didn't even use 100 grams for this. I think I used 80 grams. So I have 120 grams left. I am pretty sure I would be able to make a pair of mittens with this, or even like a really small cowl. I really enjoyed working with this yarn. I was kind of hesitant again because of the wool. I primarily use superwash merino wool, and it just has a different texture to it. But what I love about this is, again, it holds its shape really well. So after you wear it, it's really not gonna, I mean, it'll stretch some as you can see, but it is going to retain its shape, and it is super warm. So if you use a lot of superwash, it is a different feeling, but it's not scratchy. I'm one of those, when I heard wool, I immediately thought scratchy and like irritating your skin. And there are some out there that do that, but this brand, it is a really good quality wool. I was really pleasantly surprised, and I can't wait to make more things with it. Another great thing about the Knitting Fever website is if you're looking for patterns for any of their yarns, you can go on their website, click on patterns, and you can even specify what yarn base that you have. So you could get on there and pick the Jody Long and hit search. It will pull up patterns that were made with this yarn. And you can even get specific. If you wanted to just do Jody Long, you can just look through all of the pattern suggestions for that. Or you can put in the Andeamo or the Andeamo Lite and get very specific, and it will pull up pattern suggestions there. And you can click buy the pattern and it will take you to Ravelry to check out. So I really liked that. I was playing around on their website and I just typed in crochet with no filters. I was really pleased to see that they do have some crochet patterns. Of course, the company is called Knitting Fever, so they do have more knitting patterns than they do crochet, but they did not leave us crocheters out. I hope that this yarn review was helpful for you and will help you step out of your comfort zone and try some new yarns. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Until next time, happy yarning. Bye for now.